Welcome back to another episode of What's Happening Wiregrass with me, Caitlin. And this morning I'm here with Miss Karen and Mr. Shawn. And you are here this morning on behalf of the Southeast Alabama Association of Realtors. That's a tongue twister.
Can be.
That was my third time saying that. I'm just kidding. It was only my second. But okay, so this morning we're here talking about something very specific.
Yep.
This morning, not this morning, this month.
The whole month.
The month. That would be crazy if it was just today. But
Yeah.
So the month of April is the Fair Housing month.
Yes, that's correct.
So tell me about it.
So April's designated as Fair Housing Month. It's actually something that we practice all 12 months of the year, but it basically ensures that people are aware that it's our job as realtors, as professionals, to treat everybody equally.
Right. Of course.
Some people say, why April? That's the year that the Fair Housing Act was signed, April 11th, 1968. Like she said, while the month is designated for Fair Housing Month, as realtors, as professionals, and just as generally good people, we do it 365 days a year.
Right.
Just treat people equally, fairly, and with respect, and you don't have to worry about this. But there's a lot of different ways that people are discriminated against, and this ensures that basically they have a legal route to remedy the discrimination,
right,
if it happens to them.
Right. So obviously, fair housing is practiced throughout the year, but April is just the kind of the awareness month of it. So are there like specific laws around the fair housing that y'all bring to attention during April?
Well, I mean, there's different throughout the month. We will bring up different points of it, and like I said, it's hard to really pinpoint something that we do during April because it's just something that we practice throughout the year.
Right.
So we try to make sure that our agents within our own office and throughout the entire association knows what not to do. So then every transaction they have, everybody gets treated the exact same. And, I'll be honest, I don't know of any issues that we've had locally. I mean, it's something that we all take very serious, and we do a good job of treating people fairly.
Right. So what does the law do, and what are some examples of the protected classes under the fair housing?
So there's 7 different protected classes that this law prohibits discrimination against: race, color, religion, sex, national origin, disability, and familial status. Some people think that it's mainly based on race,
right?
But it's not. There's a lot of different ways.
Something that I don't I promise you I understand vocabulary, but familiar status, what would that look like? Like, I mean, what does that mean?
So basically that's if people have children, things like that, or if they're married, single, divorced, any of those types of things, especially the having children, or if they're a certain age, those types of discriminations come into play when, a lot of people don't like having small children, perhaps in a apartment building or things like that. Sometimes it's really discreet. So we have to be just really cautious about how we handle these situations and just ensure that everybody gets the same opportunities to live.
Right. So if say there's a person buying a home and they felt like they've been discriminated against, what do you do?
So under the federal law and the Fair Housing Act and the legislation that followed after that, the Department of Housing and Urban Development essentially handles those complaints on a federal level. You can contact the Southeast Alabama Association of Realtors if you want to get that contact information, if you feel like that's happened to you or been in that situation, and we'll be happy to redirect you to the appropriate people.
So someone who wants to maybe learn more, I mean, say they're just curious about learning about the law or about fair housing in general, where could they go to, other than, Googling, but is there somewhere specific that they can go to, like, learn about these laws or learn about fair housing?
So there's a ton of information. Like you said, Google, they can absolutely call the Southeast Alabama Association of Realtors. They can call, if they know a realtor or an agent, they can call them. They can just call any of the offices around here because this is something that we all are involved in. We'll be more than happy to give them any information they want. What we won't do is give them legal advice.
Right.
We're not attorneys, but if they just want basic information, we've got handouts. We've got stuff that we can give them. We would be more than happy to help educate them on anything to do with fair housing. So to make sure they understand as well as us, because a lot of times the general public they don't have the understanding that we do,
Right.
because it is our job to stay up to date on this. We do continuing education on this, pretty much every year, to make sure we do understand it and we're not, committing violations.
Right.
Most people don't have that. So if they want to contact us, the Southeast Alabama Association of Realtors, the Department of Housing Urban Development, which is HUD, Alabama Real Estate Commission, Alabama Association of Realtors, any of those will be, great assets for the general public to get information.
So like you said earlier, this isn't really you haven't really had any issues with this here in Alabama. Is this an issue that you know of maybe nationwide or, in other places that we don't really deal with here?
So it's obviously going to be an issue somewhere at any given time.
Right.
And a lot of times, some of the case studies that I've looked at with this, the agent may accidentally violate the fair housing because they don't understand the familial status. Like they don't understand, telling somebody, well, they don't want kids in this neighborhood, or, they don't want a certain age, or any of these protected classes.
Right. And that's a violation.
It's a clear violation. And there's not a whole lot of gray area. It's almost you violate it or you don't.
Right. It's black and white.
There's
7 classes. Those are those 7 classes. Yeah. Don't violate any of those classes.
And I'm sure there's lots of violations that go, unreported because neither party knew exactly what they were doing.
Right.
So that's why it's so important just to make sure that you understand how the discrimination works, what the violations are, and as realtors to make sure that you don't do it.
Right. Well, thank y'all so much for coming by and letting us know about the Fair Housing Month, April. It's always April. That's Fair Housing Month.
Yeah.
And letting us know about just educating us on what those, violations are, the classes that are protected, and just Fair Housing Month in general.
Thank you so much for having us.
Glad to be here.
Thank you.